So what up, y'all? This is Mikey from Canadariotballs. Now we're gonna be doing a really quick demo today with the First Strike FSC, which is this guy right here, and First Strike T15, which is this guy right here. Now, really quickly, I've been going online, checking out, different platforms, seeing what videos people do for, less lethal home defense purposes. And one video that I see a lot of people do is, the projectile versus the chicken. So I thought we'd do that test today. So we're gonna be using the First Strike FSC for one of the tests. So it's gonna be this guy right here. Now, as you guys can tell, a little bit difference in the setup. Today I'm gonna be using the 9-inch Lapco barrel. So this FSC that we're gonna be using today, here, let me get closer so I can show you guys. This would be one of the home defense builds I do use. So we got our FSC. Now we're using a T8.1 mag. So the T8.1 mag is obviously from a T8.1, but it works fine with the FSC. You don't need to do anything else. It just slips on in. Now we're using the red spring. A lot of people have issues where the balls will fall out of the front of their barrel. Especially when you put the mag in and you gas it up. So I like using the red spring. The red spring is for shape projectiles, but when it comes to home defense and less lethal, your projectiles are going to be heavier than normal, so I would recommend using the red spring. Now, like I said, so we're using the 9-gram round ball Riot ball. So that's this guy right here. So this is a nylon PVC with a glass gloss, and then inside of it is a steel ball bearing. So this is a 9.2 to 9.9 gram round ball Riot ball. We're gonna be using that with the FSC. So with the 9-gram round ball Riot ball, we're getting an average of 345 FPS, roughly about 40 to 42 joules. Now, with a bunch of the tests that we've done, you can check out on our channel, Canadariotballs. The best distance with the FSC and the 9-gram round ball Riot ball is the 20 to 30 foot range. Now, like I said, you guys can check up on our channel, but I did take the optics rail, which you guys can see right here. I have cut off the top of it so you can mount a flashlight nicely. So that's the rail right there. You can mount a flashlight nicely, but you can still use the original sights, which I like using the best. You can also put a laser on the side, whatever you like, whatever kind of meets your purposes. So like I said, we're using the 9-gram round ball Riot ball. So it is a 0.683 bore projectile. Now this 9-inch Lapco barrel that I'm using, it's a 0.683, so it matches up perfectly, giving me the best results. Because when you match up your barrel bore with your projectile bore, you do get the best results. It is rifled, and yeah, so about 30 feet. We'll see what it does to the chicken. So that's going to be one of the tests. Now, in the other demo we're going to be using the First Strike T15. So one of the differences with the T15 that we're using today that we don't usually do, but I'm starting to really like it, is that we're using a 90-gram CO2. So this 90-gram CO2 you can find in a lot of places. So of course, once it is engaged, it is one-time use. So it's just like the 12-gram CO2 that we use for the FSC. So the FSC, we use this. It's a 12-gram CO2 for the FSC. When you do max out the FPS, you're gonna go through a 12-gram CO2 after every mag. So after every 8 shots, you're gonna need a new CO2 when it comes to the FSC. But the nice thing about the 90-gram with the T15, so far I've gone through about, I think, 8 or 9 mags of the Zeta mag. So they hold 20 each. So 8 would be about 160 shots, and there's still a little bit left to this 90-gram. I'm not sure exactly how much, but as you can see, when you do fire, the pressure has gone down. Because usually when you first put it in, you'll see, some smoke coming out of the front of your marker. Now, I really do like this 90-gram, like I was saying. Right now the temperature is about -2. So when it is colder, your T15, you do have to open up the recock more, because colder air, it's thicker, it won't work properly. So when you do open up the recock, you do lose some FPS. Now this T15, the compact setup T15 that I have right now, it gets me with an HBA tank an average of 330, 332 FPS, but with this 90 gram CO2, it's getting me an average of 337 FPS. So you can see that's a plus of 5 FPS, which is pretty awesome. Super light, super compact. Now what I did is I put a Vulcan ASA on-off. Now this is the adapter you have to get for the 90 gram JT CO2s. You can find it most places that sell the 90 gram CO2. I think it was like less than 10 bucks. I got it a while ago. So what you can do is you can put that CO2 in, even if it gets engaged in this part, it's fine because you can have this completely off. And then when you need it, you know, you can, screw it clockwise, counterclockwise, however your ASA on off works. And then, yeah, it'll let that air go through. So you can always keep this on the back and it'll be ready to go. But once it does, get engaged and you do open this for the very first time, I wouldn't suggest just leaving this on the back. It slowly will release air and it's not too good for your marker. But a great option for home defense, something I do like a lot. Now quickly, let's just go over this T15. So I'm using a, So with the T15, I'm using a 4 gram round ball Riot ball. So it's a 3.6 to 3.8 gram nylon PVC with the glass gloss projectile. It's great for home defense. There's a lot of pros, with the 4 gram compared to something like the 9, even though the 4 and 9 are two most popular and I would say most effective projectiles we do offer at Canadariotballs. But everyone's got their own reason for why they need less lethal home defense purposes. So some people need distance more than they need stopping power. So there's always the pros and cons of the between the 4 and 9. It's more kind of what you need and what purposes you need to get done. So really quickly go over this T15 build. Now we're using a Zeta Mag, so it holds 10 on each side, 20 in total. You got to get a Zeta Mag adapter. One great option I do like with the Zeta Mag is using a coupler system. Now a coupler system, what it does, it's this plastic piece right here. It puts 2 mags together, so you get 40 shots. It is really easy. All you have to do is take your mag out, slide in the mag, take 20 shots, 40 shots it holds. So it is a great option. So on your, marker alone, you do get 40 shots. Now, kind of a debate. See, the average I'm getting with this T15 and a 4 gram round ball Riot ball is 337 FPS on this T15. But when you use something like an FSC and the 4 gram round ball Riot ball, you're getting an average of 435, 440. So it is a huge difference in FPS, but this does hold 8. And if you use a coupler system, like I just said with the T15, this holds 40. Now the 90 gram CO2 will be able to get off all 40 shots, absolutely no problem. So, that is a good debate right there. And also we'll see the results when we'll be shooting the T15 versus the FSC. More shots compared to less, higher FPS, lower FPS. We'll see all that, but this guy's got great accuracy, great grouping. So yeah, the Zeta Mag adapter, got the 90 gram CO2 with the JT adapter. Then I got my Vulcan ASA on off. Now when it comes to the T15, to get it to that less lethal range, because unfortunately you can't just get this thing out of the box and expect it to do 21 to 22 joules. One of the most important upgrades, which is super cheap, you don't need to go out and buy anything, is you have to shim the spring. So the T15, when you crack it in half, so right now because it is engaged, I can't open it. So when you crack it in half, there is a spring that is back here. What you got to do I have a video of this, you guys can check it on our channel how to do it. But what you do is you add a shim to the end of the spring. Now that makes that spring harder, giving you that ability to get to that 21 to 22 joules. So that is a very important upgrade you must do. Then I got some sights, some folding sights. I'm using a Lapco 0.683 rifle barrel. It's an 8.5 inch barrel. Very compact, super light. Now the reason I'm using a 683 is because I'm using a 4-gram round ball Riot ball, and the bore of the 4-gram round ball Riot ball is a 0.683. So when you match up the projectile to your bore, you get the best results. I got a raging donkey tip for a muzzle brake. It increases the sound of your marker, which is a good option for home defense. I got a little angle foregrip, and I got a laser right here on the side, making it somewhat easier. Now, yeah, so just like the FSC, we're gonna go back to a distance about 30 feet with the T15 and the FSC. I'll be using the 4-gram round ball Riot ball with the T15, and I'll be using the 9-gram round ball Riot ball with the FSC. So let's see the results that we get, and let's get this test going. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna start with the 4-gram round ball Riot ball and the First Strike T15. So it's a 3.6 to 3.9 gram nylon and PVC with a glass gloss round ball projectile. It's a 0.683 caliber to be exact, so it works best with a 683 or 684 barrel. Now this is the T15 that we're using. I got the 90 gram CO2 on it. I've already dumped about 6 or 7 mags. So what does that come to? About 120 to 140 shots. And the 90 gram CO2 still has juice in it, still kicking good. Getting an average of 337 FPS, which is equivalent to about 21 joules with the 4-gram round ball Riot ball. Now it is -2 Celsius here right now, so I do have to open up my recock a little bit more. That's why I get a little bit lower FPS, but let's see the damage that it does versus the chicken. So I'm gonna go back to about 30 feet, so in between 30 and 35 feet, which is something, kind of like a pro that you get when you're using the T15. You do get a little bit of distance. And yeah, so let's see what it does to the chicken at 30 feet. Now, I am gonna be using a Coupler system, so I am holding 40 shots in the T15. That's another thing I really do like about the T15. It is a little bit bigger. You do get less FPS compared to something like a First Strike FSC, where with the 4-gram round ball Riot ball and the FSC, you're getting an average of 440 FPS. So quite a bit of difference in FPS, but when you start factoring things in, like you get 40 shots instead of 8 on 1 meg, and yeah, you get a little bit more distance. So there's always a lot of pros and cons to different markers and different projectiles. It matters, kind of more what you're personally going to be using the projectiles or the marker for. So let's start off this demo with the T15. So, the marker that's going to give us the lower FPS, but let's see the damage that it does. So in between 30 and 35 feet, let's see what she does. Okay, so that's one nice thing about a Coupler system. So you get 40 shots, but that is absolutely unreal, you guys. I was not expecting those results, especially with the 4 gram. So it's hella messy, as you can tell, but look at the chicken. Oops, sorry. Look at that, you guys. It just destroyed it. I'm gonna have to obviously check out the footage to see better results, because when you're shooting you can't really pay attention too much to the results. But look at that, you guys. It just ate through the meat, the bones. Oh, that is insane. Now I cannot wait to see what happens with the 9 gram round ball Riot ball. Here, let me put this marker down. So once again, that was the 4 gram round ball Riot ball with the First Strike T15 using the 90 gram CO2, giving us an average about 337 FPS. Which is equivalent to about 21 joules. But look at this, you guys. It just devied it to a whole new point. Look at that, you guys. The chicken did not cross the road today because of the Riot balls. Look at that damage. That is nuts. Okay, so let's move on to the 9 gram round ball Riot ball with the FSC. Oh, that's crazy. I wonder if I line up some of the bones to see if it'll break bones. Okay, you guys, so we saw the results with the T15 and the 4 gram Riot ball. So 337 FPS, 21 joules, pretty crazy results at just under 30 feet. Now we're gonna take our trusty FSC, okay, using the 9 gram round ball Riot ball. So we're getting an average of 345 FPS, about 40 to 42 joules. See what it does to this chicken. Now, I can't wait to see. So let's quickly go back and get this done. So that was the first mag, 8 shots. Now we're gonna move on to the second mag. Okay. I say we do one more mag. Okay, one more meg. 345 FPS average. First strike FSC. 9-gram round ball Riot ball. Loving these results. Okay, you guys. So, now the results with the 4-gram were pretty nuts, and the T15. But just look at this, honestly. Look at that, you guys. It basically sawed the chicken in half. That is insane. 9-gram round ball Riot ball. Look what it did. Oh man. And that's at just under 30 feet too, not point blank. That's crazy, you guys. Alrighty. Check us out at Canadariotballs. I'm gonna find our projectiles. www.canadariotballs.com. Hit us up on Instagram, Canadariotballs. Or just let me know if you have any questions or if I can help in any way. Sorry guys, I'm just baffled right now how crazy these results were. Alrighty, thanks for tuning.